Uh, hey kids, what's happening? Now for all you bikers, this video won't be about motorcycles, but you don't have to turn it off. You might learn something. Stay with me. You know, one of the perks to being out in the country is being able to pee in the yard when you're outside doing yard work. And it saves me from tracking mud in the house or whatever. And it's springtime, so there's a little bit of mud around in the yard. It just seems to cling to my shoes. Anyway, you know, that's one of the things I always talked about, I always boasted about, that, hey, where I live, I can pee in the front yard, I can pee in the backyard, and nobody's there to see me. But nowadays, I got to be a little more careful. It seems that the population in this rural area continues to grow. There's new houses popping up all over the place. And then I've told you before, got this ag field over here, and the kids are running four-wheelers around there, and some of them are young ladies. And, you know, I don't want to be over here flashing myself in front of the kids and then having them file a complaint saying, hey, this old man over there's... Nah, I don't need that. So I'm a little more discreet, you know. I have to find a tree to hide behind or something now. Anyway, it's springtime. I love springtime. Everything is looking beautiful around here. Let's take a walk around. I'll show you. My pear tree is looking good. These pear trees grow really quick, and this thing's beautiful, covered with blossoms. The magnolia got frosted originally, right when it was starting to bloom, but as you can see, the blooms are all coming back on it. I've got stuff popping up there in my herb garden. The cherry, this little cherry we planted maybe 2 years ago, and it's now starting to blossom. Beautiful blossoms on this thing. I love it. Got another pear there, another little cherry over there. I'm gonna go back here and look at the plum tree that I just planted a week or so ago. Now, my wife called me the other day. She said, look out the back window. And right here across the front of the pond came 3 deer. They're heading right towards my plum tree. I mean, they spotted it right away. Oh, a new tree, and look, fresh leaves. Well, I did have some wire fence up around it to keep the deer off. Everything around here's got to be protected. But here's my little plum tree, and look, they nibbled off everything that they could get that was sticking out from the wire. So I sprayed some stuff on it, deer and animal repel. It works okay. I soaked it down. So if they tried to take a munch out of it before, I think it's got cayenne pepper, and it smells like rotten eggs regardless. It's terrible smelling stuff. You'll see that a lot of our plants have to have wire around them. These often get chewed off by the deer, so we put fence up around there. We've got a brand new clematis that we bought last year. I had to fence that because something chewed it off at the ground. Another plant here that we got to keep fenced. Everything in our yard has to be fenced. Keep the critters away from it. Even outdoor plants that we keep on the porch, we have to have wire around because the raccoons come up there and just tear them apart. The fish are finally waking up around the pond. It seems like they hear me when I'm walking around here, and they all come swimming. It's a little breezy today, though. There's a lot of rippling on the water, so it's kind of hard to see the fish. I know the cats like to hide underneath the new dock here. Let's see if any of them are around. Let me get down here where we can see. I'm not seeing any, but they're down there. They're down there. If the wind wasn't blowing and the water was more clear, you would definitely see the cats. And a lot of bluegill and some bass too. I stocked it back when I built this pond, and nobody does any fishing in it anymore. They're more like pets, so we keep it that way. The red buds are looking gorgeous. I love these red buds. My wife loves them too. Look at these pretty flowers that come out on stems. Really cool. There's another one back here, way behind the pond. You know, the house sitting way up there. But I got another red bud right here. Got a wild cherry blooming back here. That's why I say I love springtime. It's just so beautiful. All the blossoms, everything's fresh, everything's green. Fish must all be sleeping because I don't. Oh, there's a little bass right there. I probably can't see him with the camera, but he's moseying along right there. Probably about a 12-incher. There is some bigger ones in there. I don't see them very often though, but the smaller ones, they like to swim around. I got these two little spruce trees way in the back here behind the pond, and the deer had annihilated them in the past. I mean, just ripped them to shreds. And so I reinforced it with, put a couple pipes in. I put this fence up around. They seem to be recovering. And I got another one over here that they devastated. But it too looks like it might be recovering. Yeah, they ripped it. They ripped the limbs right off of it. So hopefully those come back. Pines are pretty resilient. They do well no matter what. Jeez, look at all the deer tracks back here. They're coming right through. We call this the alley. They're coming right through the alley. I do have one trail cam set up, and it's out by the driveway just for security stuff. So I haven't checked that in a while, but I will. Big maple that died here. That's it over there. I had to cut it up the other day. Cut the stump flush as I could so we can mow around it. Just one obstacle that we don't have to mow around anymore. Got another redbud tree right here. This one's kind of hidden, but still beautiful. Probably next week I'm going to get the tarp pulled off of the Hemi and get it prepped, ready to go camping. I think we'll be heading out here pretty soon. Got these beautiful little, these are like an ornamental plum. Really nice color to them. I like them. Got some little pines that I've stuck in back in here. And they're going to eventually come up. And now I think one of my last videos was about the tree house that I built when I was a kid. And I've had a lot of you guys catch this on the video, but you see that, and guys have said, wow, that looks like a great, deer blind. And at one time it may have been, because yeah, it overlooks the ag field, and back in this private little corner of the ag field the deer like to hang out. So yeah, that would make a great deer blind at one time, but it was just a tree house that we built for the kids. Looks like the raccoons have been climbing up there. You can see their claw marks on boards there. But it went up here, a little platform here, and then the ladder went up to a trap door, and that did have a floor on it. I don't know where the floor is. It completely rotted away. What happened was the treehouse never really got finished, but it was good enough for the kids to climb up there and play in, and they did for a while until the raccoons took over, and the raccoons went up there and just crapped all over the thing. It was a mess, and the kids didn't want to go up there anymore because it smelled so bad, and there's just piles of raccoon crap all over. So it just kind of stands as a monument now. I wouldn't go anywhere near that thing. The boards are so rotten. I mean, that had to be, good grief, 20 years ago or more, 25 years ago, maybe even longer. I don't know. This redbud here is our pride and joy. It's right along the side of the driveway, right by the stream, and it's just a beautiful tree. It's just covered with, you know, redbud blossoms. Now, about 2 years ago, we had a storm, a big snowstorm, and the weight of it split this right down the middle, and it I thought it was a goner, but I went ahead and put a couple of eye bolts in there and a piece of wire, pulled it back together, and it seems to be healing back up again. So the older it gets, the stronger it gets. Culvert pipes are holding up well there. Something I got to check all the time. You see there's a stick caught in front of there right now. Sometimes the debris will completely build up there, so I gotta pull this stuff out to keep the water flowing down that way. Otherwise we'll flood out our driveway again. We've only seen the water crest over the driveway under the most severe situations, and it seems like the low spot's right up here. So this whole wetland area, this is all wetland area over here that the driveway bridges across, and this is the lowest area, so the water will pool up here, and sometimes it'll flood all the way across here. Haven't seen that in a couple years though. So, well, there you go. That's the tour of the place this morning on this beautiful spring day. Wife and I got to head into town today, so we're going to be busy. But I thought I'd get out this morning and just take you on a quick walk around the yard and show you what's popping around here. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you join us as friends and join this good family of mixed bikers and campers and whatever else suits your interest. We like to cover it all. I do a lot of motorcycle stuff because that's kind of one of my big hobby interests. I love the motorcycle stuff, and I know some of you guys do too. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and catch you later.